Hi, Tram. Thank you so much for joining the UK AI Women in AI podcast today. I'm Zara Shah. I would love for you to introduce yourself to people watching and listening.
Yes. Hi, Zara. Hi, everyone. First, it's a great pleasure and honor to join the UK AI Women in AI podcast. And thanks, Zara, for the invitation to join. So I'm Nguyen, and I run the Center for Finance, Technology, and Entrepreneurship. And I'm also the chair, woman of Global Women in AI.
So, Tram, how did you start your career journey?
Ah, um, so so it's been a long journey. I started my career in finance. I would say in a high pressure global markets and wealth management environment. I used to be a trader in New York in capital markets. And then I moved to London, I switched from being in capital markets to wealth management, working for UBS and covering Asia and emerging markets. And I believe that my understanding of traditional finance world helped me to shape who I am today and forge me. My career has been a lot of different series of, let's say, reinventions, from Wall Street trading rooms to wealth management, from banking to entrepreneurship. Because after my 15 years in traditional finance, I decided to set up my own and become an entrepreneur myself, where I co-founded CFT back in 2017, and it has become now a global educational platform in digital finance, where we have in operating and alumni in over 130 countries, working alongside many governments and partners all around the world, being in the UK, but also in Asia and the Middle East. We work with a lot of industry experts. I saw that was a big gap. Why I set up CFT, because I saw a structural gap. Technology was changing the finance sector faster than professionals and the regulators and the institutions could learn. So the issue was not the ambition, but it was access to relevance, practical and high quality education, which was really industry led through CFT. So the work has been expanded from AI capability building to financial institutions, regulators, and governments and senior leaders. I started this as being building that platform of innovation, and I saw another gap happening, which you and me, with the finance industry, the industry is really non-diverse. When I started CFT, I really was adamant to change the face of fintech. I saw fintech as an enabler for access to finance via technology. And I saw that that was also an opportunity for a lot of women to participate. So at some point through our journey, so it was during COVID, so CFT is almost 10 years old, but through CFTE, at some point during COVID, out of the 200,000 professionals, we helped to train and upskill and reskill, 40% were women. I was so happy. There were women from all around the world. But with AI, it's really going backwards. Why? Because the industry of AI, and you and me, that is really not diverse. So I decided to launch Global Women in AI, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of opportunity to talk about what I'm doing with Global Women in AI. But thanks a lot.
Very fascinating. So, yes, I'd like you to share more about the work with women in AI, and particularly you mentioned some of the challenges. So it would be really interesting learning experience for viewers and listeners uh, to learn from how you overcame some of the key challenges that you faced.
Yes, no, um, it's I think so you want me to talk about Global Women in AI?
Sure.
Or
Uh,
yeah.
you
So
can choose where you feel you had in your journey, where the blockages were. How
yes,
did you overcome them?
yes. No, I think lots of, a career as a woman, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a senior leader. I think you need to always have this ambition, or it's really hard to sometimes reinvent yourself. The reinvention journey is really, really difficult. So first, when I started my career, being one of the few women on the trading floor, it was already in a very fast, demanding, and overwhelming male dominated. The challenge was not only the performance, but it was being visible, credible, resilient in rooms that were not designed necessarily for you. And so that experience later shaped my commitment to women's leadership, to make sure that women can be empowered and nurtured, to build that confidence and inclusion, and not as a one-off, but as a structural issue and personal confidence issue. So from day one, we have made sure that we can make women to progress in their journey in finance, in technology, in particular area that they have not been trained for. And that means that you need to create an environment for you. So that is the first challenge. How do you overcome when you are in an environment that is not designed for you necessarily? The second is 9/11. So 9/11 in New York, I was in New York. I was on the trading floor. I was on the Twin Tower. So I was inside the Twin Tower. So I went through that journey that day. What was a very, so I'm a survivor of 9/11. The lesson was really, really deep for me because through disruption, through chaos, the response is you need to rebuild yourself. And that crisis does not automatically build resilience, but choosing to rebuild does, because you lose everything. You lose your home, you lose all your colleagues, you lose everything. How do you rebuild yourself and make sure that you are part of a very, very strong, nurturing team together? So that has shaped me a lot, and that has always left me with that reinvention through your path and your journey. The third one is leaving the traditional institutional finance to build CFT. That's another transformation, moving from a very respected institution career to being on your own. Being an entrepreneur meant losing the comfort of your title. You don't have salary, you don't have structure. The shift require a lot of rebuilding identity, from being an employee to a founder, from an expert to a builder, from a career progression to actually make your job as a mission. So the way through was to stay close to the problem that I identified, which was a lot of people around the world needed to rebuild themselves, to reskill. The institutions needed to adapt. Regulators needed a common language for innovation. And so that's why through that mission of education at scale, how do you empower and bring knowledge to as many people as possible, whether they are a graduate to a senior leader or government? That was the mission, to bring education to everyone at scale. That has helped me to build myself through that mission that perhaps I didn't have when I was in a corporate environment, but through my entrepreneurship journey, I have tried to reinvent myself and believe in that mission. So that I think has helped me a lot. Through COVID, and scaling digital and education under pressure. Why am I saying that? Is that because it has been a really tough journey at the beginning of CFT, where online education at scale was not so adopted. But through COVID, because the travel changed, the events, the physical production changed, CFT had to adapt really, really quickly. So the team created virtual campuses, supported professionals online, bringing all our industry experts to teach online. That's helped us to scale much, much faster and adopted online education via the government, via our ecosystem, and a lot of people were able to actually access really good industry knowledge wherever they are. So I think my message would be transformation does not wait for ideal condition. You don't have to have a perfect condition to be able to do the job that you want. You may not choose the disruption, but you choose whether you want to rebuild. And that was perhaps the message I wanted to share through my different journey and challenges that has helped me to shape who I am today.
I mean, it's your journey has been very, very challenging, I can see. Would you like also to tell us a bit more about your work with global women in AI?
Yes, no, thanks a lot. So, Global Women in AI, it's a very empowerment initiative to really respect the fact that today, if you look at if you look at the top leaders, the 100 top leaders that are driving change in AI, 10 only are women. If you look at the top 10 leaders in AI, there's only one. There's a lot that needs to address in that two figures. And what we want to achieve is to really, really let, can we stop?
No, carry on, carry on.
So if you look at the world of artificial intelligence today, the imbalance is really clear. So I'll repeat, out of the 100 leaders in AI, only around 10 are women. And if you look more closely at the very top AI leadership, the picture is even more striking. Out of the 10 AI leaders, only one is a woman. So this is not a gender issue, it's a leadership issue, it's an innovation issue, it's a societal issue. So because artificial intelligence is not just another technology, AI is transforming how we work, how we learn, how we make decisions, how organizations operate, how economies grow, and it's reshaping also finance, healthcare, education, law, government, entrepreneurship in almost every sector of society. So we must ask ourselves a very important question. Can we build one of the most powerful technologies of our generations without women fully at the table? Can we create systems that serve society if society is not fully represented in shaping them? And can we trust AI to be inclusive, ethical, and responsible if the people building and governing it do not reflect the diversity of the world? This is why I decided to launch and run Global Women in AI. Global Women in AI is a movement to ensure that women are central in shaping the future of artificial intelligence. Our mission is to equip women with the knowledge, the networks, the confidence, and the opportunity to enter, thrive, and lead in AI. We are not here simply to help women to participate in AI. What we would love is who will shape, who will really, really help to lead. Women needs to lead AI. So because the real question we must all ask ourselves, who will use AI? The real question is, who will shape the future of AI? And so that's why we wanted to launch Global Women in AI, to really make sure that we can address all these issues, to bring everyone together. You could be a senior leader, you could be a policymaker, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be anyone, a student. Everyone should be there to discuss opportunities for women to lead in AI. So Global Women in AI is a platform that is now welcoming over members from 100 countries. We're welcoming you all, including you, Zara. We'd love to welcome you. And we have 60 ambassadors across the world, across different sectors, to really come and shape the discussion. So we do it via education. So you have access to live webinar, in-person training, in-person events or online events. We do a lot of roundtable leadership. So to really, really forge the ecosystem together. We provide education. So one of the area I'm really passionate about, and this is a topic I'm really adamant to push forward, which is how do we supercharge 10,000 women to lead in AI. So we are creating an academy. We're looking for partners. We're looking for people that really believe in the mission to train all together 10,000 women so that we can create that talent pool that deserves to be there for women. So any sectors or any is cross generation. So you could be a student, you could be a leader, you could be any woman at every age can participate in this work. So this is something I would love, to invite people to come and join us in this mission.
Mhm. Um, Tram, would you like to mention any of your current or future projects that you're involved in with SCFTE as well?
Yes, no, thanks, Sarah. So yes, we've been a lot. So CFT, it's also so the platform of education. And what we have done recently, and perhaps because I sit in the UK, we do a lot of work together with the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, which is the regulator in the UK. And as you know, the FCD has done a fantastic work on AI. There are lots of initiative being done by the FCA on AI. I can't mention, the lots and lots of initiative, but perhaps two or three that I would love to highlight for our audience so that they can follow and they can learn as well. One being the FCA has launched the AI sandboxes. The AI sandboxes was the initiative to welcome all the innovators and the companies doing AI, some work in AI to come and do some live testing and have access to real data to come and be part of the sandboxes of the FCA, which is quite unique to get the companies to come. It's through a very let's say a selective process because of course they can't gather everyone. So the FCA has done a few cohorts. The last one, they have welcome over 25 companies, which was excellent. There were a lot of them that couldn't, for capacity reason, being part of the FCA. So we've decided, together with the FCA and CFT, to launch the AI Supercharge Academy, which was really phenomenal because we had over 60, 70 AI companies, innovators, to have the ability to be trained and build the AI capability building, thinking, being, having this opportunity to be accelerated by CFT and with the FCA to really have a sense of how do you build product which are responsible AI, basically respecting, the lens or having the FCA to be close to you is always a bonus, but to really work together. So there's a lot of peer-to-peer learning involving the whole industry together, access to the banks, the investors, a lot of mentors. And it was a 10-week academy, which was really phenomenal. The project is continuing with perhaps the lens more on agentic AI, which is a very important topic. So we're moving now when progressing as the industry is moving very, very fast to work more on agentic AI. Something I would like to highlight is the work that we're doing with the FCA to continue the journey, which is the AI Observatory led by the FCA with the support of CFT. What we are trying to do with the AI Observatory is that today, if you look at all the different research being done by a lot of different consulting companies with the whole industry, everybody does a lot. And there's so much happening, but nobody is having this shared language for AI adoption in finance. The question is no longer simply, are you using AI? But where is AI changing the workflow? What value is it creating? Who is accountable, and what controls are needed? This is how we move from experimentation to responsible adoption. So what we are trying to do is really much to gather the whole of the industry by sharing the use cases. And it's not on purely on use cases that is framed in a certain way, but is really, really deep into analyzing who is doing what so that it can be shared in a very structured way. So wherever you are, being a bank, you can really have a repository, a list of all the use cases of all the banks, what they're doing. And then you can have a constant update. So this is what we have started to do, which we love, to share and to help the industry together. So I'm inviting you to participate. So if you are a bank or an organization that you like, and you know that you are doing something that is already something that you can share at scale, very happy, for you to join the work and to share your use cases, because it will be placed in the AI observatory at the FCA.
Okay, that's very useful information for people watching and listening. Also, would you like to share how you think people could, enter, especially women in the AI sector? And you just mentioned some of the challenges. What advice would you offer to somebody who's just starting out?
Mm. No, thanks a lot. I think you totally, I think the most important for me by far is that if you haven't started your AI literacy, join, start learning, start being really curious. We have the chance now, perhaps, compared to previous years, there were nothing available. Today, everything is available. You can learn, you can attend a lot of events, you can participate and be an actor. You can't be the passenger, you need to be the driver. You need to really own the space. So I would encourage any woman to start their journey in AI, which means start your AI literacy, learn all the use cases that is happening. There's so much happening in our industry, and there's a place for everyone. As you can see, the industry needs women. So any woman, if you don't know how to, join in. There are lots of different ways you can be part of our Global Women in AI, for example, but you can really, really start doing. You don't need to be an AI practitioner. You can be by learning, by practicing, and you also need to build at another level where you can join, community and be part of something big and have this global community that will bring you, a lot of value by keep learning and keep, progressing by being really connected with everyone. So I think the networks is important. Learning is important, and mentorship is important. You need to also be close to people that are doing it so that you can have role models and you can follow, their journey. I would say you don't need to be an AI geeks, or you don't need to be a technologist. Today, what we call that, you can be a supercharged professionals, which means that you have perhaps already your own domain of expertise. Don't assume you start from scratch. You are already someone that have a huge background and your deep knowledge of something. It could be in finance, in legal, in security, whatever it is, that is very valuable. Add the AI, add digital tools, build your, network and build your confidence. And I think you'll start your journey. And so it's not too late, because we are just at the beginning of the AI revolution.
Thank you, Tram. How can people get in touch with you?
Yes, so lots of different ways. They can connect with me through LinkedIn. So through LinkedIn, they can reach out to me. There's, of course, Global Women in AI, which is a large community where they can connect with me, but they can connect with a lot of other women. So it's available to every woman. So I'm inviting, everyone to come and be part of it. And then, yes, I'm based in London, so I'm often, in events. So you can always, reach out to me or attend some of the events that we are also organizing through Global Women in AI or CFT. That's the way to connect with me.
And finally, Tram, is there anything else you'd like to share with people watching and listening?
No, I think I would say I see so many great opportunities. AI, because we're talking about AI, but technology on its own can solve so many different uh, problems. And you can be part of it. You, me, everyone can be part of it. So I'm inviting you, to start your journey and be curious. It's a very interesting moment at the moment. So it's an invitation.
Thank you so very much, Tram, for joining the UKI Women in AI podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me, Zara. Thank you.